Drivers' press conference ahead of the FIA Formula One Japanese Grand-Prix. We have two sessions coming your way, as ever. Group number one. With us now, closest to me, Oscar Piastri, then Lando Norris, Yuki Tsunoda, Alex Albon, and Nico Hülkenberg. Well, let's start with the local hero, Yuki. Suzuka, what does this race mean to you?
Yeah, first of all, track layouts is amazing. It's favorite track, so I just really looking forward to drive here on track. Seems good weather this week, so just pure. I can feel, pure kind of performance. Formula One as a performance in Suzuka here, like especially first sector. Like line chicanes, fast chicanes, and that's kind of proper aerodynamics, air downforce. Corners, and yeah, also for the fans as well, like it's really far away normally from Japan, to feel kind of support, exactly how I didn't expect it. Always surprised here, amount of people supporting Formula One, because to be honest, it's hard to know exactly amount of people watching Formula One from Japan. But yeah, even yesterday and even 2 days before, went Tokyo and did a couple of promotions and those stuff, and I saw lots of Formula One fans here, and just I feel I got really warm welcome from them. So yeah, it's nice to be here, and looking forward to it.
Tell us about your history with this racetrack. When did you first come to Suzuka?
I think I was 16 years old.
I thought it would be younger than that.
No, I was 16 years old actually.
6 or 16?
16. Okay, I mean the track itself. Yeah, so as a spectator, maybe earlier, yeah. So we could call, I think was we 14, 13 years old. I think I remember when Seb was driving with Red Bull. I think around then, first time I came here. Still, probably the engine sound was really loud, and so I remember I was wearing kind of earplugs. But yeah, it's incredible. For me, it's the best place to watch Formula One from outside, especially around turn 1, turn 2, even like first sector. Like I can see this Formula One car enter to the corners with the sparkling. Kind of spark, a lot of spark, and I can see how fast they are. And I feel always impressed. Especially also turn 7, turn 8, like diagonal corner. That place is just incredible.
Most of the corners
are
incredible, aren't they? Can we talk a little bit about your approach to this weekend? Because you've had a very tough last couple of races, failing to complete a lap in either one. How does that change your approach coming here?
Nothing, I think. Yeah, I just probably think I just put it like just unfortunate. Especially Monza was the things I couldn't really control. Singapore, obviously there was a bit of room to improve for myself, but also just didn't work out in the end. Just things that also happens that I cannot really control as well. So I just reset. At least I take it positive. Just hopefully I digest every bad lucks from there, and yeah, hopefully I can have a good race week here. So just reset and thinking positive.
And you've got the updates. You ran the updates in Singapore, didn't you? What did you learn about them during practice there? And do you think the car will be better here?
Your car was good, Singapore. I think also the car itself, characteristic of in the Singapore track, anyway, probably was suiting. When we see what was it, Baku? Yeah, sorry, Baku. Normally we're fast there, like kind of mechanical grip track. We're quite fast. We see here, I think we can see proper aerodynamics if we actually gain from the aerodynamically side from the car. So yeah, if we perform well, I'm quite optimistic for the second half of the season. But we're expecting good performance here as well. So yeah, hopefully we can put it all together and aiming for good results.
All right, well, look, best of luck. Enjoy the support. Alex, coming to you now. Is Checo Perez still on your Christmas card list?
You should have asked Yuki that as well. Yeah, of course he is. You know, it was a bit disappointing, of course, at the race last week. Just points for us, especially. You know, they come long and far away from each other. So to be able to well, let's say not to be able to score points was a bit of a shame. But all forgiven, and you know, we're going into Suzuka now, a track that should play a bit more into our car. But yeah, it was a bit of a. I think it was more disappointing, more because we didn't have many hopes going into Singapore last week, and to be in a position where we could have almost scored points was exciting. And then I think normally, as long as we kept it on track, we would have scored some points, but we didn't.
It's a return to the harder compound tyres here. Does the car normally perform well in those conditions?
Honestly, tyres aren't such a big thing. It's more just about the circuit itself. I think it's kind of low braking, high speed kind of corners around here, and that's actually a style that suits us. We've got some proto tyres to test this weekend. I think that's going to be quite interesting just to give us a lot of mileage basically as drivers, to be on low fuel or get the most out of it. But yeah, honestly, not so different.
And is it fair to say that you love Suzuka? And I cast my mind back to 2019 when you set an identical lap time to Max Verstappen in Q3. Yeah.
It was. I love this circuit. I think it's actually my favourite circuit of the year. That kind of, as Yuki said, it's that feeling that you can really drive the corners and really feel what it's like to drive a Formula 1 car, which sounds silly to say, but a track like Singapore, you don't really feel like you're driving a Formula 1 car. Whereas here, yeah, just the speed and because it's so tight, so narrow, there's grass either side. The immersion of speed, the feeling of the speed is a bit more than where you get, for example, at Paul Ricard. So it's very special, yeah.
All right, look, final one from me. Just tell us about the level of support that you have here.
Not as much as Yuki, that's for sure. But it's okay. It's not bad. Loves me. Yeah. You love me. Oh, Japan loves me. Oh, everyone loves me. Thank you. No, it's a great place. I actually would say Singapore was a bit more my home race than here, but as Yuki said, apparently I'm welcome here. So I love the food. I think I've gained about 3 kilos in the 3 days I've been here. So that's been good.
Sounds fun. Thank you. Best of luck to you. Hulk, coming to you now. What does this race mean to you? Because you've always gone pretty well here.
Is that so? 2019 didn't go so well. That was the last time here. But yeah, it's a cool place. It's a fun circuit. Definitely ranks, very high on my favorite list too. And yeah, it's very different. There's always, exciting coming to Japan and spending a couple of days here.
Well, tell us what you've been up to. I think you've been in Tokyo, right?
I think we all have, pretty much. Didn't see much of other F1 faces, but yeah, obviously there's limited time in between, and Tokyo is always worth a trip.
Now, what is the secret to a good lap around Suzuka?
Be quick, connect all the sectors, have a good car balance. Obviously, there's a lot of grip limited zones, a lot of change of directions. It's quick and flowing, as we know. So, yeah, I guess ultimately it comes down to how much grip you have and a good balance. I think it's quite challenging for us here this weekend. Singapore last week, I think, was definitely one of our stronger weekends, especially recently. I think here this weekend, obviously quite different track characteristics, and I think they will challenge us.
Hulk, so many people talk about Sector 1 here. What is it like to drive? Are you hitting the brakes or just...
Don't know yet. Let's see. But I don't think so. I think it's just lifting.
Just all about precision?
Yes.
Okay. And look, just a quick question about tyres. We're going back to the harder compounds. Is that good or bad news for you guys?
Neither. I think it's the same for everyone, but I think that's neutral. It doesn't, play the main factor. Obviously, it's high energy, high drag, therefore, and I think the soft compounds would really struggle here. So, it's in line with what this circuit needs.
All right. Look, best of luck to you. Thank you. And I think there's congratulations in order. Oscar, you've just extended your contract with McLaren. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, obviously very happy to have that announced already. It was already around for next year, but to announce it for the end of 26 now is very exciting. Very happy to have my future secured for a long time in Papaya, so I'm looking forward to it.
Why 2 more years? Everyone seems to sign 2-year deals at the minute. Both Mercedes drivers, you as well?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've still got 3 years after this, but yeah, it's I think everybody, it's always nice to have a sense of security, and yeah, I think for me it made sense from my point of view, from the team's point of view as well. So yeah, just that longevity and continuation together is nice confidence for us all.
Now, this is your first trip to Japan. How are you finding it?
It's been cool. I've been to Tokyo as well, and yeah, it's been a really cool experience. Came to Suzuka last night, and yeah, it's obviously a bit different to Tokyo out here, but no, I'm enjoying it a lot. Tokyo, I really loved first time, so yeah, enjoying my time here so far.
Now, I'm going to apologise in advance for this next question, but I did read somewhere that you have learnt to speak Japanese when you were at school. So I was wondering if you could give a message to your Japanese fans in Japanese.
See, this was a long time ago. I did study Japanese at school for 3 or 4 years, but that was probably about 10 years ago now. So I don't remember much. But yeah, arigatou gozaimasu. I mean, it's very, very simple. So yeah, I know a few words here and there, but not enough to say thank you. So thank you, and hopefully it's a good weekend.
All right, well, look, final one from me. Just describe the sense of anticipation ahead of your first laps of Suzuka.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's a circuit I've heard plenty of things about, and obviously watched a lot growing up. Being in Australia, this was one of the races that was actually quite friendly for me to watch. So yeah, I've watched it a lot. I've driven on video games and simulators. It's always been a fun track. So yeah, looking forward to getting out there tomorrow.
Mark Webber had a couple of podiums here back in the day. He's your manager. What advice has he given you?
Prepare your neck for Sector 1. That was the first piece of advice. And yeah, obviously there's so many factors here. You know, the wind can play a massive role, especially in all the high-speed corners. It's a long race, a lot of corners where you put a lot of energy through the tyres. So yeah, a lot of factors, but yeah, your neck's probably a big one.
All right, Oscar, enjoy it. Thank you very much. Lando, coming to you. Can we start by getting your thoughts on a few more years working with Oscar?
Yeah, first, I mean, congrats to him. I think any contract that allows you to be longer in Formula One, I think is a great thing. So he's performed, he's done everything he's needed to, and probably I think it exceeded most people's expectations from what he's been able to achieve already this season. He's pushed me a lot, and it's not a nice thing. It's not what I want, but yeah, he's done a very good job. So congrats to him for another few years. And yeah, we've had a fun first half of the season, and it's a lot of progress. And I think for him to be part of that progress and to hopefully continue that into next year, 25 and 26 for himself, is going to be yeah, something to really look forward to.
You say he's pushing you a lot. When you look at the whole grid, how strong is McLaren's driver lineup now? The strongest. Lovely. And how strong is your car? You had the upgrades in Singapore.
Yeah.
Do you think that will translate here?
Yes. Tough to say. I don't know. I want to believe so. I think everything did what it was meant to do, and I think we definitely took some steps forward. I don't think that we're confident in saying we're as quick as Red Bull. I think Red Bull will probably be dominant this weekend. But I think comparing us to Ferrari and Mercedes has still been just a lot more consistent than what we have. We've still fluctuated quite a bit. On a good weekend, we can be very, very good and maybe a little bit ahead, like we've seen in Silverstone and things like that. But on the whole, Mercedes have probably been the second best car this season, then Ferrari, and then us so far. So we're getting there, but it's still a very different circuit to Singapore with these upgrades. So there's still things for us to find out and analyze from Suzuka.
You say Red Bull are going to bounce back. How sure can you be of that?
Pretty much a guarantee.
Okay. Look, thanks for that. Let's open this to the floor now. Please remember to give your name and publication. Yeah.
Yeah, hello everyone. David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Congratulations, Oscar, on the new deal. But Yuki, let's talk AlphaTauri. The assumption is that you'll be driving for AlphaTauri next season. I don't know if you want to enlighten us as to any progress on contracts, but if you are, who should your teammate be?
Yeah, so, well, speaking already, you know, when it's not confirmed yet, but I don't know, to be honest. I don't know, I think both perspective is have positive. Daniel brings definitely more experience, and he showed a lot of feedback, comparison. He's good, really good kind of, yeah, he's definitely can tell more details about how the car behaving. So I think it helps a lot for the engineers. And I think engineer likes it, especially how he talks and how he helps the development side. So if the team wants to develop the car more to be competitive, maybe Daniel, but at the same time, Liam, I think he showed in the first 2-3 races that immediately he showed a good performance, and probably he's still progressing. So as a performance side, obviously I just done with Daniel 2 races, and it was not really probably the best time for AlphaTauri as well. And last 2 races, when Liam actually came into the Formula One, the car was pretty good, and Monza and Singapore. So actually he had a good time as well. But at the same time, he definitely performed well. So yeah, I think it's AlphaTauri itself. We know it's like a junior team. So yeah, at the same time, there's a bit of more risk up to if you think about the results in general. So yeah, depends on what they're thinking. If they want more results, probably Daniel were probably more easier. He had more experience, like especially maybe he can extract that results maybe. But also Liam, he's best. I don't know. I probably it's hard. I'm scary to say.
It sounds like Yuki Marko, just like.
Yeah, I know, but like I don't know. I think Liam also the best score. Like he beat 9th. I never done 9th, so I'll stop here.
In short,
Maybe
Yuki.
Liam and Daniel. 3 seats.